Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fortress of Solitude. Today we're going to be checking out D Squad issue 3 by Mark Guggenheim and Salva Espin. R2's mission to help 3PO takes a turn as the astromech, along with IG-88, 000 and 4LOM, have to battle a cyborg controlled by the Scourge. While the action was cool, I can't help but think that this sequence could have been done in the previous issue, especially since it's over so quickly at the beginning of this one. It's only about 2 or 3 pages long. With the battle over quickly though, the team managed to reboot BT and we discover that doing so reset him back to his original programming, albeit with most of his recent memory gone, something which R2 does not want to happen to 3PO. The banter between the droids is a lot of fun, if a little drawn out in some points, but I do like that Mark is continuing the gag of R2, of course only being able to communicate in beeps and whistles, and we only get really one side of the conversation, so we kind of have to infer what is being said, but because that one side of the conversation is written so well, it's really easy to tell what is being said by the little astromech, and I quite like that. I think that's kind of a cool setup, and it probably was not easy to do something like that, so top marks to Guggenheim for doing something like that. Because of all the bickering as well, the team dynamic is a lot of fun as well, and it's like a big family who are on a car trip, and everyone doesn't like anyone, and you know, the little kid is kicking the other kid, and it's really cool and really fun seeing all that sort of stuff. And like IG-88 is trying to be the adult in the room and like, no, we've got to do this, but they can't because they're not the driver. Once the battle with the cyborg is over and the droids again reiterate their mission and reluctantly decide to work together, R2 points them in the direction of a being who might help, and it ends up being the squad's newest or oldest team member if you're familiar with the Clone Wars, QT-KT, the droid that once belonged to Jedi Ayla Secura and was part of the original D Squad. QT manages to point the team in the direction of Ajax Sigma and his church, someone R2 also realizes he met recently with Luke, something we saw in the Revelations book that Mark also wrote. Before the team can head out to find Sigma though, the Scourge return and an all-out fight is had, with the team finally working together as one squad. Probably one of my favourite moments of the series so far happens this issue, and I hope it continues to be a running gag at least into the next final issue, and it's where R2 and QT come together. It looks like they are both kind of leaning in for a kiss, or at least a astromech's approximation of what a kiss would be, only then to be interrupted by 000 or something else. I do like the idea that the astromechs love each other and have tried to have a thing in the past, but the Clone Wars and the Purge and all of this stuff sort of got in their way, and it was kind of like a misconnection between these two. It's a neat little bit of humanization on these robots, and robots who can't really talk and emote all that much, and I like how much emotion that Mark can drag out of these droids who don't have a face at all. As D Squad battle the horde of Scourge droids, QT ultimately gets shot in the dome and is destroyed. I know it's meant to be a sad moment, but the way Salva Espin frames it in that final page with R2's little sort of frame in the corner of the death picture screaming just makes it really funny, and I feel like that's something from a soap opera. It's just such a funny image of this droid screaming over the dead corpse of its friend. Salva's art though still continues to be great. It's clean and vibrant, and the action is just so much fun to look at. The first couple of pages of this issue were great as well, as it was these great pastel pink and yellow backgrounds, and it contrasts really nicely with the greys and gunmetal greys and blacks of all of the droids of D Squad. As D Squad begins to reach its finale, the story is starting to get a little bit more involved in the larger Dark Droids plot, positioning the team to join in the final battle with Ajax Sigma against the Scourge. That being said, a lot of what's been done in this book could have been done in the previous issue, or at least shortened the run of the books, as it just seems to be reiterating what has already been said in the previous issue, or what was said literally in the first pages of the issue, kind of going around in circles a little bit. Because of that, I am going to give this issue a 6.5 out of 10.